All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Barstool Mintzy, joined by Peyton Chatagnier. Week 2 of college baseball. Got 3 big showdown kind of tourney series this weekend around the country. We got one in Jacksonville. We got one in Round Rock, Texas, and this is the second of 3 weeks at Globe Life at Arlington, the Rangers ballpark. And, when you look at the action this weekend, I think those 3 showcases are by far what to watch for in college baseball.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, there's not a whole lot. I think ECU versus UNC could be a lot of fun too, but that's in the Round Rock. Other than that, I don't know if there's really too many games that we'd like to cover. It's a lot of non-conference stuff.
Yeah, well, a lot of northern teams traveling south. There are also, we'll just hop right to it. We're going to go through quick previews and what we're watching for this weekend. As always, fire on DraftKings. They do a great job of college baseball lines. I went 2-0 last night to start my weekend. Got a bunch of action out today. Join us. We're both posting picks. Check that out. All right, we'll start this weekend. We'll touch on. There's actually one other series I want to mention too. We'll start with North Carolina at East Carolina. Atmosphere, look, the Jungle, they do it freaking big there. I'm trying to get there for a series this year. The East Carolina fans always go real hard with me. North Carolina, number 6 in the country, swept Texas Tech last week, looked dominant. Pitching staff, elite. East Carolina lost a ton from last year, but they get the benefit of the doubt because Cliff Godwin's a great coach. They're they're the most consistent G5 program in the country. They also have, playing at home. I believe is this series they do it. I think do they play one like? I think they play like one at East Carolina, one at North Carolina, and one.
You might be right. Yeah, you might be
I
right.
actually remember that they do this every
Yeah,
year. But tonight's game at East Carolina, looking at this series, I mean, I feel like if it's one each neutral, I mean, at each home park and then one neutral, I'm looking for North Carolina to take 2 out of 3 here.
I would say North Carolina takes it too, but ECU, kind of like you were saying, like Cliff Godwin, he gets the boys going. They always find a way to get into a regional. I thought they were going to kind of make a run last year, ended up not. But North Carolina right now looks unbelievable. They look like a top 5 team.
Yeah, Carolina made a big run in Omaha. DeCaro, their ace pitcher, is a sophomore now, pitched a lot in the College World Series. Very complete team. Kind of a team you look at. They lost Vance Honeycutt, the All-American, but no real weaknesses. East Carolina, like I said, always good, but they got hit by the transfer portal. But I'm watching that one. The other series I want to mention real quick is a fun one. It's Nebraska at UL Lafayette. Because people that don't know South Louisiana, that is a bear of a place to go play. That fan base is crazy. They'll sell those games out. Nebraska, very good, Big Ten team. Had a strong showing last week out in the desert. That line's actually pick them tonight. I lean ULL, though, man. I just think that they're at home, them being at home, that's a tough place to go play. Matt Diggs, the former Sam Houston State coach, excellent coach. They've been back in regionals the last few years, getting the, traditional powerhouse program from the Tony Robichaux days. I'm not going to say that. ULL, look, I'm not, I wouldn't say that I thought they took steroids back in the day, but I wouldn't say that they didn't either. They were always huge. But I think that's going to be kind of an underrated series to watch.
Yeah, that'll be good. People that haven't played there, that's a lot of fun. And they kind of got hosed in the regional last year. They got A&M and UT in there. That's a very tough regional to make it out of. Obviously, A&M ended up making it out. But this team's going to be really good, too. They kind of struggled last weekend, but I'm just hoping it's one of those where, I don't know, maybe it's the beginning of the year, whatever happens, and now they're back on track. Sometimes teams need to get kind of kicked in the mouth just to respond. So we'll see. And Diggs has got him going.
Yeah, okay, now on hit the 3 showcases. First of all, there's one in Jacksonville, Florida. 4 teams playing round robins all weekend. Today it starts Ohio State and NC State playing right now, and then Alabama and Coastal Carolina later. NC State, I actually bet on Liberty Tuesday to upset them at like plus 250, and they scored 4 runs in the 9th to come back and beat them 9-8. That was a thriller. They played some crappy team, swept some bad team last weekend. They're coming off, an Omaha run, but they lost a lot of hitting. Their pitching staff looks pretty good. Ohio State, I think they hired the Central Michigan coach.
I don't know what's going on with Ohio State right now, though.
Yeah, they scored a lot of runs last week out at Arizona State, but I don't know if they can pitch.
Yeah.
And then the other matchup, Alabama, solid program. Made the last year, lost in the regional, made a super regional the year before. I know you're good friends with Garrett Wood, former teammate at Ole Miss on the staff. Justin LeBron, All-American shortstop. Thing with Bama, they can really hit. I'm not sure about the pitching. Taking on Coastal Carolina today, who always can freaking hit, always. Won a national championship as a member of the Southern Conference 2014. And they're always, year after year, the Sun Belt's got some underrated teams. Coastal Carolina, one of them. I'm looking at over 13.5 in this game.
That's probably safe. I think that's where Alabama probably lacks, and it's not. This team is just kind of unknown to me. Like, I can't figure out. They have LeBron, and then I'm trying to figure out what else. Like, what star power do they have? My biggest thing is, like, I'm just relying on the coaches at Alabama. I think they did a great job last year, first year as a coaching staff there. Not having their players this year. They probably got a couple more recruits that were actually theirs or transfers. I'm just looking for them to. I mean, they made a regional last year, but I think they'll go back for sure this year. I'm taking Alabama in this one over Coastal.
Okay, they're slight favorite. I think they're like minus $1.30 or 40.
Yeah, I think this could be a pick'em game though.
Okay, yeah, and then so going to be watching those all weekend. It'll be fun watching NC State take on Bama and Coastal Carolina. The Coastal playing NC State, you always got to look out for those. Like when that's getting to play in North Carolina, Power 5 is big for Coastal. I think look out for them to maybe upset NC State possibly later in the weekend. Then the other showcases we're watching, Round Rock, Texas. D1 Baseball's there all weekend. Kyle Peterson's there. They're streaming it on d1baseball.com. Their site's been down today, which has been a huge pitch. I was trying to prep. It was awfully hard to prep for this without D1 Baseball. But that 4 teams playing in the Round Rock thing. Minnesota is not any good in the Big Ten. Oklahoma, who has the 2 Witherspoon brothers pitching days 1 and 2, and Cam Johnson, the former LSU lefty. So they got a good staff. But then the real matchup to watch of the day, you got 2 top 7 teams playing, Virginia and Oregon State. Oregon State's actually a pretty strong favorite today, minus $1.40. That over-under was 12. Virginia they came in preseason number 1, didn't play quite as well as people thought in Puerto Rico last weekend, looking to bounce back. But to me, this is easily the game of the day in college baseball, Oregon State and Virginia.
Yeah, I agree. And like Oregon State and Virginia, they both got dudes that can just absolutely mash. I think Oregon State maybe has the edge as far as the pitching staff goes. Virginia lost one of their freshman arms who's supposed to be really good. But this is going to be a good matchup. And especially if you're Virginia, you're going off a weekend that you didn't necessarily want to have. You were ranked number 2, number 1 in some polls. I would look for them to see if they can turn some heads back around and take this one.
Yeah, I took Virginia plus 110 today. Oregon State minus $1.40. My college baseball gambling strategy I've formulated the last few years, man, I'm just taking plus money all the time. I don't like taking the really big favorites over $1.50 if I can help it. If I'm taking like the big favorites, I like to lay the run and a half because it's just if you take those minus 200s, minus 250s, and you lose, it just kills you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and midweeks, if you can bet the over every single time.
Yeah, and Sunday, the other stuff, Sunday overs are a huge thing because staffs are worn out. And then Friday unders are a big thing a lot too because of the ace pitchers. A lot of teams have like top front-level MLB arms going on Friday. And then the other showcase stuff was up in Arlington, or actually Arlington this weekend.
Arlington.
Fascinating. Your old school, your alma mater, TCU, taking on Michigan today. Michigan, 4-0 in Puerto Rico, won that tournament, including upsetting Virginia. TCU's still a huge favorite today. I thought way too big. Michigan's coming back at plus 165. I know TCU lost their Friday night arm already. I do think Sarles and TCU are going to be good. I just think that line's too much.
It is a lot, but I think TCU swung it really well against a good San Diego team last weekend. I think this game's going to rely on if Cademan Parker can throw strikes, their starting pitcher, because like you had mentioned, Ben Abelt's out this year with TJ. If he can extend this, go to maybe 5 innings or so, I think TCU takes it. But I will say Michigan, they're already turning heads this year. It's really cool to watch them.
Yeah, Michigan, kind of an underrated program. Obviously, they made the national championship with Eric Bakich in 2019, but people don't think about Michigan baseball, but they're competitive every year.
Yeah.
And then also in that Round Rock thing, we got a rematch from a regional last year. Kansas State knocked out Arkansas really shocked everybody when they beat Hagen Smith as a humongous underdog in game 2 last year. And now Arkansas takes them on in the night game tonight. K-State lost a ton. This game, Arkansas's got an elite pitching staff. I still question they're hitting a little bit. I like under 11 a lot in this game tonight.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this on our SEC preview. I think like Arkansas's pitching staff, I think they have the best pitching staff in the country so far. Kansas State is nowhere near the same team that they were last year. If I had to take a guess, I don't know what the points is, but I'll take
Arkansas is a
huge.
Sure. The problem was Arkansas is like minus 250, and they're minus. You could take them minus 2.5 runs. But my problem with that is Arkansas is not scoring a ton of runs, so I don't like laying a lot of runs.
That's fair.
They're winning 5-2 a lot or 5-3 kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Gabe Gakel, I believe that's how you say his name, is Gaeckl. Dude, Friday night stud for Arkansas going tonight, and I think he's going to come out and shove on K-State.
Definitely.
But those, and then so all weekend, that's going to be really fun. You know, the round robin, that means Arkansas is playing TCU in Michigan as well. TCU Arkansas actually tomorrow. I know you're going to be watching that one close.
Oh, yeah. That one's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for that one. That'll be a good test for TCU. They did really well against San Diego, like I said. But this is going to be their first real matchup against what I think would be a top 5 ranked team. So with that pitching staff that Arkansas has got, that one's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, but that's kind of mainly. Is there any other series? That's kind of all the main ones that caught.
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, when you look at some of that, like Alabama versus NC State, that's going to be a great game to me. That's going to be a better game than Alabama versus Coastal. And even who knows what happens by Sunday, how the Arlington series shakes out. But even Arkansas versus Michigan could be a really cool one.
Yeah, so all the Arlington games are on Flow Sports, which I bought last weekend.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch it, you got to get it on Flow Sports. Actually, I'll say this: I spent $20 on it, but the production was super good. I was really impressed because sometimes you see college baseball not as good. They're streaming the Round Rock tourney on D1Baseball.com. But yeah, going to be following all that this weekend. As far as programming stuff goes going forward, we got a great response to our Hunter Elliott interview. We've got some interviews lined up for next week already, and we're going to be doing more short form. You know, you're going to see more videos from both Peyton and me on our Twitters and Instagrams, and looking to do some more of the stuff afternoon. But we're going to keep building this, man. This college baseball community, it's great, and I love seeing the response you're getting so far.
Yeah, we need college baseball back. I mean, we've got our steady hardcore fans, but we need the guys that are on the fence to join our side. This college baseball thing is a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. Well, that's what we're watching for this weekend. Like I said, as always, bet on DraftKings and follow Peyton on Twitter at Peyton CHAT5. And let's keep growing the game, baby.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Let's make some money this weekend.